But really, if you look at the big picture, are you losing or are you winning? No. That's why scientifically, Einstein was very, very correct when he said that energy is neither created nor destroyed. You can't get something. You can't destroy anything. It's always there. Solomon was a wise guy, and he said that everything under the sun is not new. Wasn't a dream tonight. I was accompanying a friend. Maybe I was accompanying a son. I'm not sure. I was accompanying somebody. And I'm doing it for him, for good. We were trying to invest in a company. It's obvious that there's a price that they are asking for that share. And it's obvious that whatever price that we are paying will bring a profit to the original shareholders. Because the original shareholders will be selling it at a higher price than they have actually invested in that share previously. And when I woke up, it was not during the dream, but only upon waking up, and together with my experience and knowledge about shares, I realized that this methodology is a good way of earning a living. It's just like buying shares, You buy a company at a higher price, no doubt. But when you resell it to another investor, you'll be asking for a higher price. And provided you have done something to improve on this business, you will be making big money. Isn't that right? It's an easy money in a sense that you'll be actually trading in shares. Except that for now, you can control the shares so that the shares will be profitable and ultimately the selling price will be higher. And I realize that some of my customers are doing that. They're simply getting new investors. They set up companies, but with one objective, to resell it to investors. They put in something that make it juicy for the investors to come in. Or whatever it is, a new investor will be asked to put in money. And that will give him big profit. It's not about doing business, it's about selling shares. And when you attract new investors, you may not be doing it because the business is expanding, but rather you're doing it because you're telling the new investor that we'll be reselling again to another set of investors at a higher price. The investor will buy only with the understanding that they will resell the share to someone else. In other words, you are selling a hope. Now, the company has a good business model, no doubt of that. But you are now selling to a new investor with your own marketing plan and your own vision, which may not come true. But the new investor buys on that possibility and that hope, and you earn money from that hope. And the new investor is told that they will be reselling again the shares to another group of investors, again with that same hope. Wow. So what's happening? You're buying on hope and not buying on reality. Isn't that right? And very interestingly, when the new investors come in with new money, the directors, the existing directors, will start increasing their salary. Is that kind of earning of money an honest living? But when you extend this analogy to the big society, you find that increasing prices is a natural thing. right? Your children will be buying at a higher price than you are buying. And the economy continues. It's based on this idea of profit. But in fact, the prices are just being increasing all the time. Human beings are feeling all the time that they are profiting. They're becoming better. But are they? I can laugh at the whole thing. Throughout my life, from babyhood to adulthood, I thought that I was improving. Isn't that right? I learned to walk, and I can walk. And then first I was dependent on my parents, and then after that I'm making my own living. I thought I was improving. Then, and as the years passed by, never did I realize that a man would get older. And the process of returning to my original condition is almost inevitable. Our mind was given the idea that there is an expansion. But are we? And the question must be, is there a need for expansion? Do you need to survive based on that idea that you're expanding? And the truth, of course, is how could you in the first place be profiting? Because if you're profiting from someone else is losing, right? So how could you possibly be profiting? Because the universe is one big piece of reality, and it cannot possibly be profiting from itself, can it? So the logic is very clear. There is no such thing as expansion, nor contraction. It's just where we are. But the ugly part of it is that you're motivated by an expansion, are you not? That's right. You see another person out there, and you're motivated by earning more than him. Isn't that right? You're motivated by being a leader, and who are the others? The others are your servants or followers. Is that funny? We're motivated by a falsity in our mind. It's very clear. But let's expand it further. Many a times you feel lousy. There are times when you feel depressed. And so what do? You comfort yourself with ideas, right? You pray. You thought that things are going to get better because you prayed. You worked very hard because you thought that things are going to get better. You worked very hard. But really, if you look at the big picture, are you losing or are you winning? No. That's why scientifically, Einstein was very, very correct when he said that energy is neither created nor destroyed. You can't get something. You can't destroy anything. It's always there. Solomon was a wise guy, and he said that everything under the sun is not new. And in our mind, we think that God is out there, and we are His creation. Is that right? In our mind, we think that there is a heaven and there is a hell. Is it right? In our mind, we think that there's such thing as a nirvana, and there's such thing as suffering. Is that right? But is there really such a thing? Must I be going somewhere when the universe is just one piece? Must I be saying that heaven is better than hell because reality is just one? Should I be saying that God is the creator and I'm the creation, realizing that all things are just one? Everyone is motivated by a lie, isn't it right? Cannot we see that everything is as it is, and all we need to do is actually be comforted by the fact that I am here, and that is all. And if you carefully observe my dream, you realize that the reason why we are thinking that we are profiting, because the selling price is higher, is because we are also buying at a higher price. It is our own action returning back to us. We saw it as a profit, but it's our own action because we buy at a higher price. So obviously, the selling back to us is at a higher price too. So what is it all about? So this is my proposition. Actually, everything is returning back to itself, and we must participate in that return. And that's why when we observe ourselves, that's the best action that we can do in reality. When we observe ourselves, you can never be suffering in an illusion. I've always, in all my videos, encouraged my readers to self-observe. That's what the angels told me to do, and I did it, to self-observe. Because when you self-observe, you participate in the two aspects of reality. You are the creator as well as the creation. You are the motivator as well as the one being motivated. So when you participate in these two aspects of reality, you are complete. So it is my opinion. The angels told me, and I did it. You see, my methodology is different from that of many, many people. You see, what they do is that some of them, they go up the mountains, they meditate on no thoughts. I don't see that as a good logic for myself. And then some of them would go out on a mission, doing something for God. I don't see that logical for myself. For myself, I lived my life exactly as the world is. I'm a participator of everything that is happening. I'm a sportsman, I'm a businessman, I'm a moneymaker, etc. I can do all these things. But the most important thing is that I'm a self-observer. I meditate while doing my things. I observe myself, and that is the power of life itself. That's what it means for me to realize I am